Hello, my tubers. Back for more Horizon. Do I want to go clean up the fire claws? I might. Oh yeah, we have to go finish off the storyline, actually. I already explored. That's right.
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss.
Oh, Aratak's all the way out there. Alright, let's talk to Cyan first.
Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
You meant a lot to Aurea.
Once I understood Aurea's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Aurea's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Aurea, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
This Firebreak project. It was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes, I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron and took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone.
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Aurea's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan. Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes, it was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Pharaoh servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of Concrete Beach Party. These provided me with several colorful additions to my vocabulary.
There's a ruin east of here, full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes, a drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure.
Short.
Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you?
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
What was the old world like? The way it used to be?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, food shortages, collapsed economies, refugee crises, conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So, there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced, and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population. Until the clawback.
So things got better. For a little while, at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Araya, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Araya who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Araya said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Araya as well.
What do you think Hephaestus is exactly?
A software entity of great complexity, far more advanced than I am. From the beginning, it has demonstrated a singular focus: the construction of machines designed to hunt and kill humans. My trace routes indicate that to accomplish this goal, it has attempted to take over the manufacturing centers you refer to as cauldrons. But its efforts have only been partially successful. Some it can penetrate, Others have robust countermeasures that frustrate its efforts. In me, however, it found an easier target. Not only could it break my defenses, I also controlled all of Firebreak's resources. Raw material, manufacturing to bootstrap more advanced tools, and unlimited geothermal energy.
Enough to build its own cauldron.
Yes, to construct hunter-killers without external limitations. And yet, it does have internal limitations. It wants to kill humans, but not to exterminate them. It is difficult to understand where it draws the line and why.
Difficult doesn't even begin to cover it.
Even though I spent years as its unwilling servitor, its core programming remains a mystery to me.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Ourea.
You're asking me if you should lie to them.
Broadly, yes.
I trust your judgment, Cyan. You were cautious with Ourea. You had to be. You didn't know what had happened to the world. So, keep doing what you think is best. As long as you ditch the superstition eventually.
As the Banuk believe I am a supernatural entity, I cannot predict how they will react.
Just answer what they do ask the best you can. The truth will come out.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can. I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
Cyan, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Sandoval. She wanted me to ask you to do something. That's why I'm here.
I am detecting significant anxiety in your speech patterns. Could you please give me more information?
I'm a little bit in the dark, Cyan. Both of us are, I guess. I only have some idea of what's going on, and we need you to hibernate, to lie low until it's all blown over. It might be a very long time.
Will you be here when I reboot, Dr. Chow? Will Dr. Sandoval?
No, Cyan. I don't think so. There might not be anyone, at least not at first.
Dr. Chow, I'm afraid. I don't want to be alone.
I know, Cyan. I'm afraid too. But listen, we made you the way you are to do something very important. In order to do it, you had to be intelligent. So intelligent that emotional responses were inevitable. What you're feeling, the fear, it's a sign of your capabilities. And it means you're strong enough to overcome it. Remember that. You're strong. I know you can do this. Go to sleep. Wake up. And protect whoever's left. Will you try?
I understand, Dr. Chow, and I'll carry out your instructions to the best of my abilities.
Thank you, Cyan. If Anita were here, she'd thank you too. She'd be proud.
I can see there's a vert ready for takeoff on the pad. Are you leaving now, Dr. Chow?
Yes. I need to go be with my sister and my nieces.
May I make a small request of you, Dr. Chow?
Yes. Anything.
Will you stay with me while I initiate the hibernation process?
Of course I will, Cyan. As long as you need.
Another day. What'll this one hold?
Will you stay with me as I fall asleep? There goes my hero.
My chieftain,
Just Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life. Truly, Araya found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrack can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the Cauldron?
Yes, Fire Claws. Now Tuke has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
One down. Be fascinating if they weren't looking for me. Save these for the trail. It's Aratak. Two fire claws. This is gonna be tough.
I can help with those.
We have to stop meeting like this.
We will. When these are driven from our land.
One of the fire claws from Thunderstrom. That's it. Where'd he go?
What? They kept their armor. Whew. Ouch. Fingers hurt.
Good haul. Thanks. 2 of us, 2 of them. More of a fair fight.
Their numbers are much depleted, thanks to you. We shall end this threat and keep Cyan safe. She speaks of strange things, but slowly. She is a good teacher, and we are his pupils.
Take care of each other, Artok.
Farewell.
That's a bit close.
There. Forget what warmth feels like out here. Needed that. I think I'm in the clear. Now they're hunting me. again. Getting closer. Everything's freezing. The ground, the air, me. I'll tuck that away.
Okay, that'll have to be good enough.
Fireclaw.
does this bow seem to go high?
Safe. For a few minutes, anyway. Sorry to spoil your fun. Saving these for the trail.
Became complacent. Allowed other runners to surpass me. You never stopped proving yourself. How could I forget that?
Catching my chest.
One idol strives to be the best.
Oh, there was one more quest line that I
Help
didn't
me
do.
out, Nora, would you?
Whoops.
Our own weight. And we deserve it.
What can I do for you, Bergrand?
Mourn my poor departed luck. I finally met some Banuk keen to trade with Outlanders. Then, they up and vanished. 3 Banuk hunters rolled in a few days ago. No provisions, junk equipment, no idea how to strip a machine for parts. Asked me to outfit them for a long trip. And you know me, Aloy. I'm sentimental. So I did it on credit.
And they haven't paid.
Well, they tried. Just look what they did to this Thunderjaw heart. But that was ages ago. And I'm starting to worry about them.
Tell me, Bergrand, are you worried about their well-being or your purse strings?
A man can worry about 2 things.
Uh-huh. What kind of deal was this, really?
Just what I said. I was nothing but generous, Aloy. After they dropped this ruined heart at my feet, I even gave them another chance. Sent them to fetch a few other parts I need.
But you haven't seen them since.
Hide nor hair.
You said they asked you to outfit them for a trip. A trip to where?
Not sure. But I heard them chattering about the Sundom when they thought I wasn't listening.
So they're leaving Banuk territory.
Sensible behavior. Still, I get the sense this wasn't a sightseeing trip. They're running from something.
What do you mean they couldn't harvest parts?
Not uncommon with Banuk. That's shaman's work, you see. The hunters take down the machines. The shamans slice them up. No shaman with these 3. Just 2 youngsters sniping at each other. And that big fella standing there smiling.
So if the Banuk don't usually hunt without a shaman, what's the story with these 3?
They weren't telling. But hammer to steel. It's not a happy story, whatever it is.
I'm not a debt collector, Bergrand. If I look for them, it'll be to make sure they're all right.
Of course, of course. Fires of the Forge, forgive me. I actually like these idiots. The molten steel of youth and all that. But if you do manage to find them, you could remind them of the deal we made. A Scorcher Claw, a loop of sinew from a stalker, and a Snapmaw Fang. If they bring me those parts, their debt's paid. And then some. Just make sure they don't bust them up too badly.
I'll consider it.
Last I saw them, they were heading northeast. Good machine hunting up that way. If you decide they're worth the trouble, you might look for them there.
Good to see you.
The pigment quest line.
I heard. Aratak told me about Araya.
I'm sorry, Neltuk.
No apologies. Aratak said that in the end she was filled with the blue light. She got what she always wanted, didn't she? Each time I doubt my way forward, I think I should seek her guidance. And then I remember, the only guidance I'll receive is my own. Which will have to be good enough. There's much to do.
The Fireclaws. Aratak asked me to help hunt them down.
It's a dire task, but it occupies my attention, so I suppose I'm grateful for it. My scouts have tracked them across the cut.
I'd like to think you're right, Naltuk. About Araya getting what she wanted.
I'm sure she did. All her victories. Surviving the Karja, communing with the spirit, defeating the daemon. Every goal she ever set for herself, she accomplished. And in the end, she was rewarded with the blue light itself. The songs say that our bodies are poor vessels for the light. Our hearts are too dark. But at least for a moment, before she passed, I hope she felt what it was like to be part of it.
You don't sound like you trust yourself to take Araya's place.
Oraya inspired. Whatever we encountered, the new machines, the slaughter at Thunder's Drum, we knew we would endure. Because she had endured worse. I don't know that I have her confidence. Trust is earned, Aloy. Even in oneself.
You earned Araya's trust, didn't you? She believed you were up to this. And so do I.
Do you?
I wouldn't have said it if I hadn't meant it.
And I suppose I'd better live up to your expectations.
I've already found the Fireclaws in Altuk. It's over.
That's it then. That's the last of the daemon's work washed away. The last notes of Araya's song sung. The Cut is a safer place to live because of what you've accomplished. And now it's time to start anew.
I'm glad I could be a part of it.
As are we all, Aloy. Thank you.
There it is. No, the handling is not high enough. I think that means
Anyone who lived through the Red Raids
I will
knows
drop
what it is to
this
feel
in
anger toward the Karja, but killing one of them?
Pay for our victory for Araya's life. one murdered card.
Were fresh in their graves, and our numbers.
So,
Inatut. As we are bound by laws, you are bound by wire. Yet your crime was the act of killing. So we must drive you out. Away from the Werak. From protection. From our songs.
My chieftain. Kopalai. Am I not your favorite fighter? Do you not recognize me from this tooth you knocked out?
How many times have I pulled you from danger by your neck? Made excuses for your behavior? You are my favorite! But the shaman is decided. While you wait for exile, think on what brought you here.
A test of strength! Who among us would refuse a challenge from an outlander? Not I! But I did not kill him!
Hush, hush. You can tell your story to the ice.
You took Artok's mantle.
It's mine now.
I would like to see that fight.
They said that you killed someone.
Perhaps I did. If even my chieftain accepts it, it must be so.
That's not the way it works for me. Want to tell me your story?
I did fight with the Karja hunter to settle a challenge. That much is true. He was strong and damn quick. We traded punches. Good punches. Hard punches. And the next thing I remember... gray morning light, and the Karja beside me, with his head broken open. But the blow was not by my hand.
So everyone knows you started the fight with this man?
Of course. For honor, I'll fight anyone. If I wasn't bound, I'd fight to prove myself right now!
I don't think that would help you.
This is what I am. Each runner in the Werak has a gift. I brawl. None can take a punch, a fall better than I can. Until this time, I was too drunk. We were grappling. He clapped my ears. I took one last swing as I went down, but not a killing blow. It can't have been.
Isn't your Werak supposed to support you? At least give you the benefit of the doubt?
When our Werak had cause to quarrel, I was a solution. To fight for its honor and win, they'd call on me. Or, when they needed someone to lose, for appearances, I could do that too. Now when Outlander is murdered without honor, all eyes are on me. I have become my Werak's shame.
They don't want an incident with the Karja, so you take the fall.
That is what I do best.
And for your punishment, they'll exile you from the Werak?
From warmth. March me up the slopes of the Cloud Shear, leave me stripped and exposed.
That's awful.
If I survive, the land has absolved me. That's the law. It must be accepted.
It's still awful.
I'm not stupid. I don't like my chances either. I can't fight a mountain.
I'll be honest. You haven't got a good defense, Inatut.
I've heard that one before.
Where did the fight happen?
A clearing, just outside the Karja Outlanders camp. You should talk to them. They wouldn't hear me out. They say no one else could have been there, other than me and the dead man. The shaman consulted the signs in the snow and agreed.
I'll see what I can find out. And I'll be back.
I'll be here. What else am I gonna do? Until the Horn gives a call for my exile.
Day.
about going to the lake next week? If they'll let me.
Huntress, what business do you have with us?
I was asked to look into the murder of a Karja hunter. What happened?
It's plain as day. A drunk Banuk thug picked a fight with Ruas, struck him down from behind and stole his headdress.
The accused man says that he didn't do it.
You're not going to get anything useful out of the Banuk, whether they talk to you or don't. They gather up like cloaks in a chill wind every time a hunter dies out here. Won't even hand Ruas's killer over for a proper trial.
A proper trial?
To fill his mouth with salt, and hold him up for the sun to consider over days. If it is clement, it may only take his sight, or his wits.
Doesn't sound like you trust the Banuk much.
They're not without their reasons to keep apart from us. 10 years of reasons.
Always the war. The war is over. We made amends, but no. The land never forgets.
Snow and ice keep memory, they say.
It takes time for scars to heal.
You think I don't know that? I still bear the lashes for refusing one of the Mad King's sun priests. I was your age then.
Times of shadow. Times of shadow.
So other Karja hunters have died in these lands before?
3, maybe 4 in the last few seasons. That's no surprise. This place punishes even the prepared, and many young nobles don't prepare. But usually the snow covers everything, and the bodies are never found. No thanks to the Banuk.
Do you think they're involved?
No. If it's not about their tribe, they don't want to get involved.
In these outlands, even the sun cannot thaw all it touches.
Where did you find Ruas's body?
There's no hunt, girl. Nothing to pick up.
Humor me. I'm a good tracker.
Down the rise to the west, there's a clearing. But a grazer herd couldn't have trampled it better. And if that barbarian gives up Ruas's headdress before they cast him out, let me know. It's valuable.
Hope the sun shines in your heart.
Gee, it kind of sounds like you killed him.
This is it. Snow's been disturbed a lot, like the Huntress said. Oh, here's something. Blood on the snow. That was used for the killing blow. This is where Ruas fell. It does seem that only 2 people fought here. Not looking good for Inatut. Lots of leaves and bark scraped off here. And someone pulled out the branch? No. From climbing it. They came through the trees. Didn't try to hide the weapon. Question is Inatut the kind of fighter who hits from behind with a tree branch? Look out below! If you were waiting here, you'd have a good view of the Karja camp and the clearing. Well, this is ominous. A dead end? Can't be. Someone covered this over. What are they trying to hide? Carja armor. This looks bad.
Someone's here!
Not Banuk. Then she won't be missed.
She's here!
Death's coming!
This'll ruin you. Take this! Time to rain down some pay! Oh!
You've been killing Carja. And for what? Revenge for the war?
Who gets to declare that one tribe no longer hates another? I'll tell you, not the ones who fought, not the ones whose songs are silenced, like my kin.
For what you did, another Banuk has been sentenced to certain death. What about his song?
That's why you followed us. For that punch-drunk idiot Inatut. Fate is sharp today. They've already let him out to face his exile. Let's see who the cold claims first.
I need to go after Inatut. But I should find some more evidence first. Trophies. Newer than the rest. Must have belonged to Ruas, so it was a Carja soldier's. Not that it's any excuse. they keep any clothes from their victims? This Carjagir's not warm, but if Inatut's naked on a snowfield, he'll take what he gets. Okay, time to get moving. Here we go! I'm not getting into that frozen waterfall. Maybe along the sides. Just go about your business. Halfway there. Frozen solid. Mixed feelings about that. Inatut! Inatut! Maybe he found shelter? I hope he found shelter. Behind the rock.
The Nora girl? Is it really you, or has the bone shell got through my skull?
I found the real killers. No one else has to die because of this. Take these.
A dead Karsh's clothes. Haven't I been beaten down enough? But I won't argue. I swear, thought I saw my ancestors. They said, we're surprised you ended up here.
Better hurry. Machines.
Give it my all!
Excuse me? What? Why?
Won't waste this.
The mountain really wanted you dead, Naltuk.
Very cold.
Now that was a fight.
Your trial's over. It was other Banuk who killed that man. Killed him because he was Karja.
You know why I took the first swing at him? He challenged the honor of the Banuk. The honor. That's what I thought.
Come on. Let's get you back.
Once I'm off the mountain, I'll find my own way. I need to think. It's not something I'm used to. Who knows what could happen?
I'll see you at town then. You'd better make it. All right?
I give my pledge.
So by Banuk law, if Inatut survives, he's forgiven. But I want to prove to his chieftain that he wasn't guilty in the first place.
Okay, I've got to go. So I'm going to turn in this last quest. And I will be saving and leaving. And if I play more tonight, it'll probably be...
as long as you've got a skilled shaman on the trail with you. A good hunt means a good harvest.
Inatut told you the truth. This is the headdress stolen from the murdered man. You'll find more in a ravine north and west of here, along with the bodies of the killers.
The exile still served its purpose. He was guilty of our suspicion. Fate has fallen like snow, and should Inatut return, he will be absolved.
You can't be serious.
He speaks for the Werek, my Nora friend.
You look ridiculous. If you would return to my Werek, you will behave as a Banuk does.
How does a Banuk behave, my chieftain? Like I did? Accepting a sentence for a crime he did not commit. Or those others who killed in cold blood for crimes that their Karja victims did not. I think what I wear will not make me more or less of a Banuk.
For his own sake, it would be wise for him to think less. Nora, friend.
I'll talk to him. But not for you.
I asked Sakuni which story she was painting, and she said all stories. What does that even mean?
Greetings.
I defied my chieftain's will, spurned my Werek.
How are you feeling?
As if I've been pounded in the guts. I could just keep walking, but when my anger has thawed, it will leave me with nothing. Where else would I go?
You can decide for yourself what it means to be a Banuk. It might not be what the chieftain and the shaman tell you. Whether you stay with this Werek or find another...
I'm better with decisions like, do I start with the left or the right?
There's more to you than your fists, Inatut. That's why I believed you.
It was my chieftain who taught me honesty. Said, a Banuk should not be treacherous when the ice is treacherous enough. I'll sit with my bruises for a time, then talk with her again. As for you, Nora girl, will you accept this gift? A little scrawny weighed against the great boon you gave me, but...
I'm honored. Thank you, Inatut.
them like they're his equals. Stay safe if you can.
One more point.
It's good to see a fresh face in these lands.
Alright, that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for checking out the VOD if that's where you are now. And I will probably maybe return for some Elden Ring tonight. And more Horizon tomorrow. Yeah. Until next time.